Hi, welcome to another episode of Frequency. My name is Mr. Dominus, your host, and today we have our guest star. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Alnabil Onyx.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You look great.
Thank you.
Today we are talking about healing through BDSM. It's a very touchy subject, and I'm really excited to dive into this with you.
Absolutely.
And thank you for recommending this title. A lot of times we talk about a lot of like explorative things, and we get into the nitty gritty of like sexuality. But I think sometimes understanding the mental behind sex and the connectivity is very important. So,
It's very important.
I'm looking forward to this with you today. So first segment of the show, we like to kind of start off with what you've been doing. We love our hotels. I like to say who you been fucking, who you been sucking, who you been letting fuck you. Give us the whole journey. A lot of people have been asking me like, why does the show start off like this? Because we want to showcase that we are still out here living our liberated lives. So
Yes.
you can share first if you want to. I can go first if you want to.
I can go first.
Okay, go first as our guest. Tell us, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? Was it good? Was it bad?
Oh, it was definitely good.
Okay.
I like to use the word delicious.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I like delicious.
Sweet.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Macaroni.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the macaroni thing that you did before we started the
Well,
show.
I like a good mac and cheese. It's gotta be creamy.
I make a great mac and cheese, by the way.
Do you?
It's really good. Like, mine's actually top notch. I think it's good.
Well,
Yeah, I'll have to
like
get you to
that.
try it one day.
yeah, I would love
I
that.
don't know if it's as good as somebody else's mac and cheese, but
My boyfriend got some good mac and cheese.
that's a different mac and
And
cheese.
the deeper you go, the cheesier it gets.
Oh, oh, I've never. Ooh, ooh. So tell us about your experiences lately. How have they been?
Oh, my experience has been great here lately. Working at the bar as a title holder, keep doing that at Upward DC. I have an event coming up for Mr. Rehoboth Leather
Okay.
weekend.
I
as
saw
the
that
tally
you
master.
got picked as one of the judges.
Yes, so I'll be the tally master for that event. So, been pretty
Oh, black
busy.
representation.
Pretty busy. And, still, iron sharpened iron with my boys, with Leather Boys of Color, create.
Tell us about that, by the way, the Leather Boys of Color. Yeah, I want to hear more about that.
So Leather Boys of Color started out as a interest group back in 2020. The visionary of that was Master Eli Ra of the Luminary House to Ra, and so he was the visionary behind it. And then he placed it in the hands of one of his boys, Agni,
Okay.
and then they created an interest group, and then administration has changed from that time to now. Now it's an incorporation. It's a full patch club,
Okay.
and it's a club for people who identify as boys, particularly people of color. So
Oh, wow.
if you self-identify as a boy, then you can become a member of our club.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, how does that differ from other leather clubs? Like yours, is it more about the boy aspect of being in that club? Is what mainly what it's about?
It's really more the boy aspect. You can also be a switch. You can be a pet. Those type.
What?
A pet.
What is that?
A pet, like a
Oh, like
pup,
pup. Oh, okay.
pup,
That was like
a cat, a
cat?
pig.
I've never heard of a cat thing. There's
Yeah,
cat play.
yeah. There is cat play,
What?
feline play. There's all different types of forms of pet play.
Oh wow, I've never heard of cat play.
Yeah.
That's new. We'll have to talk about that. I want to hear your hotels. What was your best sexual experience lately? Give me the details.
My best sexual experience was when I received head, and they did a good job.
Okay, where was this at? Paint the scene for me.
It was in my bed, in the upper loft of my place.
Okay.
In my bed, laying on the bed, legs wide open, and they're just, sucking the head of my dick, sucking it, and then taking a little bit more, take a little bit more, and go deeper.
How good is this person's throat game?
Oh, that game is good. If you
Yeah.
if you can make me come in about 15 minutes sucking, you're good.
Ooh, so they a throat goat.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you
Eh,
ever been to any of the hetero events?
I have probably been to maybe a few. One that comes to mind, but it's more of a swingers.
So
space.
I'm a host for Hetero. Hetero is a oral play app. So we have parties in Baltimore, and we're having our first party in DC. So basically,
Oh,
it's for people who like to just give head. So we have two different types of
really?
contests. Yes. So for those of you who like giving head,
Did you say contests?
yes, there is a contest.
Oh,
Basically, so we have throat, we have goat, which basically we have goat, and then we have a judged contest. So
okay.
we basically the first contest is everybody walks in, you get an identifying wristband. So you have people who give head, receive head, and who do both. Anybody who's doing both doesn't get a ticket, but the ones who give and receive do get a ticket.
Okay.
So throughout the night, you are there's a heavy push to engage with other people. So as you engage with people, you get if you do the best, you get a ticket. You get their ticket. So if I blow you and I give you the best head that you've had, I'll give you my ticket to say, hey, you did a good job. Whoever collects the most tickets at the end of the night wins.
Oh,
Yes. So
what's the
then,
prize?
the prizes are different. So the guy who owns the app, he comes to the events with me. Usually it's like a year, a premium subscription to the app, and then you get a free entry to the next one. And then he sometimes he'll do some other things like with toys or whatever.
Mm.
But it's really fun. And then we have another one, which is the judged based event. So basically, everybody who comes to the event gets a ticket. Who wants to be a part of the oral competition?
Mm.
So at the end of the night, sorry, it usually starts at midnight. Whoever the judge is sits on a platform to receive fellatio,
Oh,
and I pull a raffle from everybody who entered the competition. And I will pull a raffle, and it's usually 6 people. So those people are picked at random, and then they come up to the stage, and you get a minute with the judge in front of everybody, and you get to show him how good you are. And we have a limiting round, so usually it's like a minute, and then the judge will pick the top 4, right? Then those 4 move on, then you get 30 seconds, and then he'll pick the top 2, and then you get 15 seconds to kind of like give your best, last it, and then we pick a winner, and this is in front of a crowd of people.
mm.
Yes. So that's our judged event, and it's really fun
I
to
have a
kind of
question.
go ahead.
So, is there coming involved?
Absolutely. If you can
Oh,
make the judge come, he will bust in your mouth. You definitely
oh,
have. I think the
yeah.
first time we did the judged event, one of the we had 2 judges actually because we actually had more than 6 people that wanted to participate in the event.
Mm.
So one of them did not. He definitely did.
You know what just came to my mind?
I feel like if you make somebody nut, you automatically win.
Yeah,
I think you should automatically win if
I
you
have an
make somebody.
idea for you.
Okay.
Maybe a cum race.
A cum race to
Hmm.
see who could blow. But then you would need more than one judge though, because one judge,
Yeah, you would need more people.
I would.
I'm greedy. I'm sorry.
I definitely I maybe if we had like but then everyone's mentality because I have never come from head ever. It's not my
Oh,
ministry.
okay.
So like I would if I was a judge, you'd be at a disadvantage with me. I would never come. Um, so it's kind of like measuring like how you would need people who could all come at equally at the same time. I think that would be
It'll
interesting.
be interesting
But
though.
it would be a little unfair because if it takes you longer, if your dick ain't as sensitive as the other person's,
Right,
if you come
right.
quicker, it's not because you did a great job. You just come quicker than they do.
True, true.
Uh, but it's a
Or it could be where it's just one person with multiple people and it's a timer.
okay.
You time it. So you have a row of people that you got to try to make come. You can't go to the next person till you make the first person come. And
Oh,
see how many people can you make come within a certain amount of time.
hmm. That we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay.
Um, but our next hetero event is going to be October. We'll talk
Yeah.
after this. Our next event is going to be at the DC Eagle.
Okay.
It will be October 25th. It was actually going to be the Saturday, but we're going to move it to the Sunday. It was actually going to be the Friday. We're moving it to the Saturday night. This will be our first event. I am the host for it, and we're actually looking forward to it.
Hmm.
To hosting this event for you guys. I I'll give you my little hot tip. So last night, my husband and I we had a little Sniffies hookup come over.
Oh.
We did.
Sniffies.
I love Sniffies. I love and I have a complicated relationship with Sniffies, right?
Okay.
If you guys want to, endorse us, I would love that. Actually, I made a video about Sniffies the other day, and Sniffies commented on it, and we actually got talking a little bit. But
Okay.
love the app. It's always a hit or miss because you never know what people are looking for.
Right.
But a couple weeks ago, I was talking on the podcast, and I was just like, backup dick is so important, right? So I put an ad out, and it's crazy with Sniffies. I can fuck somebody easier than I can get fucked on Sniffies. Like it is way easier to find ass on Sniffies than it is to find a top.
There's a lot of ass up there.
There's a lot of bottoms in DC,
Yeah.
so tops get to be
The
choosy
ratio.
with what they want, right? So, my Sniffies profile is literally my torso, and so I'm like, husband and I are looking for ass later this 6 o'clock. Man, when I tell you, I got like 30 responses in within like 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
The
we
little
found,
bubbles pop up
Look,
everywhere.
it's just like you have a Sniffies notification. So did you know that I didn't know? I thought so. I used to use Sniffies in the web browser, but you can change your Sniffies notifications to make it an app on your phone.
You can.
I didn't know that. So now I just get Sniffies notifications versus I used to stay in the web browser and wait for the apps, and then sometimes I would like I would come out the browser and then like miss like 20 messages. But now I have it to where it's the notification hooked to my phone, so anytime I get a message, it pops up.
Oh, that's
So it pops up. We find this little guy, cute guy. He's like, oh, I want to come over. And I'm just like, so I start a group message. This is my thing with Sniffies. If you don't show me your face, I'm not going to fuck you. You have to show me your face. And so a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't send face pictures. And I'm like, so what happens when you come to my apartment and I don't like how you look? And they're like, oh, if you don't like how I look, just leave. I'm like, that's a waste of my fucking time.
And I need to know what you look like before you come to my door.
Exactly. And so like I met this one guy messaged me, super hot body, and I'm just like, message me. I said, I need a face pic. He's like, are you gonna send one? I'm like, absolutely. I have no problem sending my face picture. And he's like, well, I can't send mine because of the job. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't come to my house. He's like, well, how about we meet somewhere? So you want me to take time out of my day to go meet you, just decide if I want to fuck you, or you just send a photo? And he was like, I said, I'm good. Have a good day. So the guy that was supposed to come, he does not show up. He's like, I'm going to come there at 6 o'clock. And so, 5 o'clock, he said I'm going to come at 7. So I messaged him around 6 o'clock, and he's like, doesn't answer the phone at all. And we've texted, like, I started a group chat with my husband, and we were like, hey, what do you like? What are you into? Because I'm a very nice top, okay? I'm not one of those, like, come here, just get wrecked tops. Like, I ask, like, what do you like? What do you desire? How can we help you? This is what we like. I just want to make sure you have a good time.
Right.
Some usual time.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I like this. I love kissing. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. And then an hour before, I check in, like, hey, just want to make sure, you're still coming. No response. Baby, I had backup dick within 30 minutes. Okay?
Maybe the water wasn't ready yet.
He could have said that. Because the guy who came last night said he was coming at 7 o'clock, didn't show up till 8:30 because the water wasn't running clear. But he was honest about it. He was like, hey, the process is taking a little long. I'm like, no problem, baby.
No problem.
So, I fell asleep.
Something is better than nothing. Like,
and I'm okay with you not even coming. If the water don't run clear and it's just not happening, just communicate.
Right.
All that guy had to say was, I can't come, but whatever. He left us, said he was coming, didn't come, whatever. But the guy who came last night, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I thought my husband was going to wait for me. Greedy bitch. I'm in the shower. Because he said he was coming at 7 o'clock. So I'm in the back. I'm laying on the bed. I look at the bed. It's 7 o'clock. I'm like, man, this bed ain't coming. I'm finna go to sleep. So then around 8 o'clock, my husband's like, oh, he's here. And I'm like, well, shit. So I go get in the shower. I'm getting, showered up, getting ready, brushing my teeth, everything. And then I hear, like, this bitch don't start it without me.
your husband was getting them warmed up for it,
And so I come out into the living room. I come out into the bedroom, and he looks at me. He's like, God damn. And he's like, I've never been fucked with somebody by a PA. I'm giving people a lot of first. I got a Prince Albert this year.
Okay.
I've been fucking a lot of people with my PA, and they're just like, oh my goodness.
Is it a big ring?
It is an 8 gauge. It's the same gauge as my nose.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can get it sized up next month. I was told I had to wait 6 months before I size up, so I'm gonna go to 6. Uh, but baby, he was running from me. He was running from me. I was fucking shit at that man last night. I definitely, I definitely was.
Did he need a towel after you got done?
No painting. He was cleaned out. He was very good. But like he's
Well,
like,
no painting, but just the juices.
I don't come from fucking.
Well, his juices.
He ended up nutting. He nutted on himself, and then I wasn't. I didn't come. I came after he left.
Oh, okay.
I kind of made it about him because he kept asking throughout the night. He's like, "Am I a good bottom?" Because he's like, "I'm usually a top," and he's like, "I really wanted to try bottoming."
Try.
And I'm just like, that's what I feel like they all say.
Try. Wait a minute.
He's like, I've only bottomed for one person, and I'm just like, sure. Like, I had no issue with him. He was fun. But I'm very aggressive when I have sex.
Okay.
And I informed him of that. And I was like, when I top, I be wearing people out. Like
Make it a pucker.
We had a guest last week. His name was Doc, and it was funny because I could relate. Because Doc's like, I would go to orgies and I just wear these motherfuckers out. I was just like, I have done that to, I think like 80% of the bottoms that come over to our house. Because my husband's more sensual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like, I'm more of a like, I'm getting in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I top, I'm aggressive. But I never start out that way. And I always tell people, I don't just pop up in somebody, I'm just like, I'm finna fuck the shit out you. It's more like, I start slow. And so the guy, he's getting fucked last night, and he's like, I think I can go a little harder. I said, are you sure? And then he's looking, we have a mirror in our bedroom. So he's looking to the side, and he's watching me fuck him doggy style. And he's like, oh my God, this looks so hot. So he's watching himself get fucked. So he's like, can you speed it up a little bit? I said, are you sure? Man, about 10 seconds in, he was like, slow the fuck down. slow the fuck down.
You asked for a little bit.
He said, speed up. He's like, nope, go back down. He's like, please go back down. And I'm like, okay, so we slow down. And then he's like, okay, I want to try it again. And it got to the point of night, he's like, I can't do no more of this. He's like, I'm about done. And so we helped him nut. And then he went on his way. So, yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah, I need to find a bottom that is I need to find a local bottom. Public service announcements. But I need somebody who can take it.
Take it.
Yeah.
For how long?
I don't nut from fucking. I don't. I have come from fucking 2 people in my life, and those are my husbands.
Well, I'm long-winded too.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I will fuck for hours.
Me too. And if I do eventually come, I can take a little moment and
right back in.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's crazy. I feel sorry for the guys. Like we had this one thing where I talked about it in the previous podcast. My husband and I, we fucked this couple. So we were both topping both of them, and one of them's like, he's like 260 bear, big old boy, and I fuck the living shit out of him, right? And then he taps out, and I look at my husband, and I fuck his boyfriend, and I make both of them tap out, and they're just like, this is too much. So I need a bottom that I know can like take everything and do everything, but we'll see.
They're out there.
They are.
Yeah. And they're right here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, so we're going to get into the second segment of this game night. So we have this game called Truth or Drink. So we're going to pick up these cards. And basically, it's kind of like a little icebreaker game before we get into the meat and potatoes of our episode. And we'll usually do 3 or 4 and kind of just talk about... you read the card. So how the game really works, I usually play this at game night. So what we'll do is you'll pick a card. You read the card, and if you don't want to answer the card, so when you play it in a group, you read the card, you pick 2 people in the group, and then you answer the question. You ask them the question. Whoever answers the question the best, you give them the card.
Okay.
And then the other person has to take a shot. When you take it when you play the game one-on-one with somebody, they have to answer the question. If they don't answer the question, they take a shot. So we're not. we gonna answer these questions because we're trying to get into the nitty gritty.
Right.
But I'll let you go first, and so you can pick through any question. You don't have usually in the game it's like you have to pick the one on top, but you can go through them and ask whatever question you think is best tailored for me.
Okay. So, where's the strangest place you've had sex?
Strange. Identify strange. Like
Something just out of the norm.
out of the norm. It might. Ooh. Mm, mm, uh. I don't know about strangers. Maybe the Office Depot parking lot with my husband in the backseat of his truck.
That'll
Like
work.
it was a dead parking lot, and I was blowing him on the way home. I don't remember where we were coming from, but I was blowing him in his truck. So he's got a 1500 F1. He's got 1500 Ram,
Mm.
a big old country truck, and I was blowing him in the truck, and then we pulled over, and he's such a scaredy cat because he's like, we shouldn't go in here. He's like, I don't think we should go in here. And I was like, man, pull in the motherfucking parking lot, and we get in the parking lot, and we get in the back seat, and he nuts in the back seat. I didn't nut till we got home. But are we talking penetration or just oral?
Anything.
I think it'd be the Office Depot parking lot. In
Okay.
I'm not gonna say the city because they're not gonna come after me.
Where were you on your way to Office Depot to get?
It was the middle of the night. They were closed. We just literally pulled into the parking lot of Office Depot
Wow.
so I could finish blowing him
Okay.
in the back of the truck.
Sounds good.
I think that was it. All right, for you. Ooh, I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards. Give us a passionate example of your dirty talk. Make sure you speak into that mic. And you can speak to him if you need to. You can look him in the eyes and give us your best example.
Oh, wow.
A shot of alcohol. in the back.
Yes. My best dirty talk. That's the thing. I don't do a lot of talking, but if I do say something,
How you come on, Mister? Give me your Barry White. Like how you get the boys in the mood?
push out.
That's all you. That's.
I'm into the fucking, so if I'm talking, I'm giving commands like push out.
So okay. Before you get to the point where you can say push out, how are you getting them to push out before they're naked? Because dirty talk starts when you're clothed.
It's not licking,
Okay.
eating the ass.
How are you talking though? What are you saying?
The sound effects is the talking. What do you mean? There's not a lot of talking going on other than the sound effects. Yeah.
Okay. And then it's push out.
Push out.
So you don't be doing no talking. It's just action.
Yeah, mostly. I might check in, be like, it feel good? How does it feel?
Okay.
Things like that. I don't do too much talking. I just fuck.
Okay. I love it. Your turn.
Well, let's see here.
This is my favorite card. We need to save this one.
Oh. So what is the kinkiest thing you asked someone else to do, and did they oblige?
I think mine's really vanilla. I think it was MAO this year. I wanted to fist somebody. And I had never. So I'm very sentimental when it comes to like my first experience. I refuse to have my first experiences in like dark rooms or just random sex places. I'm very much Disney white girl. Like, I want to feel love and I want the print, the lights and everything in the room.
The glitter, the fall.
Yes, that's how I like my first. After that, it can be raunchy. I don't give a fuck. But I like memorable first experiences. So I was at MAL with this guy. He had come from San Diego, and I picked him and his husband up to take them to the gym. And I'm always gonna give a backstory. I pick him up to take him to the gym, and so we go to the gym, and I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you looking forward to doing at MAL? I'm like, I really want to fist somebody, and he's like, I'm a fister, and I'm like, oh my god, really? And he was like, absolutely. So he's like, if you've never done it, you can do it to me. And I was like, really? And I've known this man for 3 years. We've hung out plenty of times. And we went, my husband came, my friend came with me. And it was like this ceremonial thing. It was so cool. Like I get into his room, he takes my hands, he files on my fingernails, he explains the importance to me of having like, cut cuticles and everything. And then he sits in the bench. And I remember he's in the sling, I'm in the chair, and I've got this giant ass grin on my face. Ooh. And I started like slowly like finessing my way, and he's talking me through it, and he's just like, okay, yeah, I do this. He's like, oh yeah, I've got a really big fist. And I finally like feel it get in there, and I never want to get in there. I look at my husband, I'm just like, I'm in. And I pulled out, and my friend did it next, and he gave me my first red hanky that I still have. So it was a fun experience.
Yeah, I love fisting as well.
That is.
So did you feel the heartbeat?
Not with him. I fisted this black guy at a fisting party my friend and I went to. I don't remember the name of it, but we went there together, and there's this black guy that was in this. He was sitting there, and I felt his heartbeat.
Yeah, the
I
pulse.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
And that was a totally different experience.
Yes, it is.
Fisting white and black men is different. I don't know why, but it is. But it was a really great experience with him to feel like I felt like life was in my hand. Yeah. It was so intimate. Yeah. It was really good. I enjoyed it. All right, that's probably the next thing I want to try is urophilia, but I want it to be with somebody that I trust and I know has good piss, because I'm not finna choke on nothing nasty.
Right.
What's the biggest mess you've created during sex? Mr. Push Out. Did you have to clean it up, or did you leave it for somebody else?
Oh, great question. So I invited someone over. It's like this year.
Okay.
And they came and they had a creamy surprise for me.
Oh, I've never fucked a creamy person.
And when I was fucking them, I fucked the shit out of them, literally. And so if I'm in a headspace, I don't care about
100%. I'm there too.
But if you don't tell me that maybe you're into this thing or whatever, I'm an artist. So just as well as you painted me, I'm about to paint you.
Baby, what?
Should I keep going?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So when the shit starts to come
Question.
out.
Did he come there intentionally wanting to paint you, or was it more like you fucked him so much that this happened?
So with this particular person, I feel like they came with the intention.
Oh my God. Okay. And they didn't tell you. Ooh.
And they didn't tell me.
Okay, continue.
Because I've had episodes where I feel like, oh, it was an accident, because, you go past the second hole, get deeper. Things happen sometimes. Accidents happen.
Mr. Push Out for the rest of the episode.
So I feel like it was intentional, but you didn't get consent. You didn't negotiate. You didn't talk about none of that. So guess what? You're my canvas now.
Jesus. Okay.
And if I'm in a hog, bore headspace, I'm going to keep fucking you until you tell me to stop. And he never told me to stop.
Okay.
So, fucking me, I'm touching my dick, I'm touching his face. I'm touching my dick, I'm touching his chest. I'm touching my dick, I'm touching his hair.
What?
And then I make him get on his knees and suck my dick with the shit on it.
I gotta go. What? your bed?
In my bed.
Oh my god! Oh, oh. So what happened? Did he clean it up?
Yes. But then I took my own covers and washed them. So many know that I have a submissive.
Uh huh.
So I washed the sheets and they came over. Whew.
Uh huh.
And they found the blanket and they laid on the blanket. And it was like, Daddy, what's this? What's the smell?
Oh my god! I
I
can
said,
just
I
see
don't
it.
know. I don't know
So
what's
you're
going
fucking
on.
touching face, hair, body.
Oh yeah, you're a canvas at that point, and I'm painting you. I touched his mouth too, by the way, and he didn't have no. He he enjoyed getting fucked still. While he was on his back with his legs up in the air.
I
Oink,
think.
oink, oink.
Okay. Okay. Last question. You asked me your last
Okay.
question, and we'll get into the episode.
All right.
I just want to throw the cards up in the air. I just wanna- That's gonna be an interesting reel.
So just to lighten up just a little bit, what's the best compliment you've ever gotten on your sexual performance?
Mm. Um. It's probably two things. I give great head, absolutely great head. Um. Uh. And someone said I look like I fuck how I look. They said you fuck like a bull.
Oh, I
Um.
saw that too. Yeah.
Yes. Like they're like you are an aggressive fucker. Your body is a display of your sexual aggression.
Hmm.
Um. But I'm also a very intimate person too as well. Um, I don't do anything. I'm not big on like just fucking and then leaving. Like if I get to the point where like I'm gonna aggressively fuck, I still want it to be about the other person too.
Mm-hmm.
But overall best compliment I think would be my head.
Okay.
Like I've been to multiple play spaces with my husband, and they literally look at him and they're just like, "God damn, this is yours." Like we were at we were at a house party in in Atlanta once. It was like a pool party, sex party, and like I blew this guy, and he was dumbfounded. I did the same thing when we went to what's that place in DC? The bathhouse.
Crew club.
Yeah, crew club. Blew this guy. Man, literally looks at my husband and is like, "Oh my fucking gosh!" Like he's got great fucking. I don't have a gag reflex, so I
Oh.
don't. So anything once you go past my uvula, like I'm not like I'm just more like go further. I think my biggest handicap to sucking dick is my teeth. It is the capacity of how wide your dick is. Like so, as long as like your dick's not to the point where it's grazing my teeth, you can shove that shit all the way down.
Mm.
It will go, 100%.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get into our episode about healing through BDSM. How has your journey been in your BDSM journey when it comes to in a healing aspect? How has that been for you? I've got a plethora of questions for you. So
Yeah.
let's start off like a little intro.
Well, it's a lot to the journey. And I would like to say a disclaimer that, some of the things I may share may be sensitive or triggering, but I grew up experiencing childhood sexual abuse
Okay.
from the age of 8 and 9 years old by uncle, by several cousins, and having all those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Also, being a person who's living with HIV. So that's also another sexual related experience as well at the age of 23. And then growing up in a family who was super religious.
I can
And
definitely
so
relate.
my father being a preacher,
Oh,
and
preacher's kid.
yeah, and so I had a project at school that dealt with condoms. It was a sexual education project.
He was like,
And I brought the project home to work on my part.
mm-hmm.
And he went through my bag, saw the condoms, and then he didn't ask any questions, but began to beat my ass.
Oh my God. Did he go through your bag any other day?
No,
That was just the one day. He's
just
just
that happened that
so
one
happy to go through your
day.
bag.
He went through my bag.
Damn.
And so all of those experiences leave an impression on
Hmm.
your mind, in your spirit, you know. And so when it comes to healing through BDSM, a lot of those things I didn't have control.
Yeah.
In BDSM, I have control.
Mm.
And that is another way of like gaining your power back, is because now I'm consenting to you to do whatever the sexual experience is
Hmm.
to me. I'm consenting you to choke me. I'm consenting you to fuck me. I'm consenting you to do all the things that I may desire to do, but it's through conversation, negotiation, and all that stuff.
Have you ever engaged in any sexual kinks or fetishes that have been triggering for you from your childhood, or are you more the one administering things to people to bring them pleasure? Like being hit, like are you a fan of flogging, or is that something that's like triggering for you, being flogged?
No, it wouldn't be I worked through a lot of my
Hmm.
post traumatic stress triggers and things like that. So when I came into the leather scene, the BDSM, the kink scene, I didn't have a lot of those triggers because I've already worked through a lot of that.
Hmm.
And just knowing that I'm in a safe space, which is important, and then trusting the individual who I'm engaging into kink play with.
Okay.
So I do kink play on other people, as well as I've had kink play done to me through my mentorship process, and
Mm.
also being a boy and submissive to a sir, a master as well. And so, because of trust being gained, because of communication, and because of negotiation, I felt comfortable to have those type
I
experiences.
think it's very important, and I've stressed this in other episodes that a lot of people like to engage into BDSM from a very surface level, and
Hmm.
it's more of like the sexual arousal from the outfits to the gear to the wear, when they don't realize there's a very mental level to BDSM.
Hmm.
The trust level that has to be obtained to really achieve like a fulfilling relationship or experiences with people.
Hmm.
To me personally, like I get the kinks that are there. They're very much a byproduct of the experience. To me, the most important thing when it comes to BDSM is trust.
It's trust.
For me, it is. I know for some people, they just love they flogging sessions, or they love whatever they're into, or being a slave to somebody, and
Right.
that fulfills them. But like, you cannot engage in these things unless you trust that person.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand that. It's just like, I want to wear the harness and I want to get fucked,
Right.
right?
And I like to be flogged. It feels like a massage for me.
Hmm.
The thud feeling of being flogged feels like a massage. Just like I like fire play, just like I like needle play to be done on me as well as I like to do it on others.
Hmm.
But all of those feels like a nice, good massage. It's relaxing for me, and that's my point of view when it comes to those particular kinks. But am I going out here and say, "You stick needles in me. You stick needles in me.
Yeah.
No,
Hmm.
absolutely not.
Um, as Black people, we often carry generational and personal trauma. How does BDSM provide a different kind of space to process that?
Well, growing up in the South, experiencing the KKK,
Hmm.
experiencing racism, prejudice in the community that I grew up in, seeing white only signs, having to go in the back of restaurants to eat, almost partially segregated schools, even during my lifetime.
Mm.
And so coming into the leather kink BDSM community where it's mostly cisgender white
White men,
male
100%.
led, you know, I had a lot of questions as a young black cisgender male, especially when it comes to like certain terms like boy,
Hmm.
like that's something that you didn't
Mm.
do in the South.
I do have a desire to have a daddy boy relationship with somebody, and there was somebody recently that I was interested in that with, and he's like, I have a problem with calling you boy because
Hmm.
of the racial tension that this word does carry with itself. So I
Hmm.
do understand that as well,
So
especially as Black men in this area.
right, and then running into maybe being fetishized, as a
Maybe
black man,
that's
you
just it's
know.
gonna happen.
And I say maybe because I haven't really played with anyone outside of my race
Mm.
since I've been in the community because of my experiences.
Hmm.
I only play with black and brown people. So I haven't, I don't have that experience outside of my race.
That's got to be very it's got to be very it's like a tension to not have to know that like when you're engaging, with other people that look like you, black people, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Cuz like that is something that, recently I've experienced because a lot of my I'm pledging Onyx this year. Cuz I was looking for an area to be around black men that I can be
Hmm.
educated, in this area, and in these subjects, but it's very prevalent in the white communities. And then when you go to a lot of these spaces to try and learn, or the bluff parties, and then
Yes.
it's more like, oh, you're a hot black man,
Right.
and you have to deal with all this like subtle racism. When I really wanted to go into these spaces to just kind of like experience and learn,
Hmm.
but then my skin color ends up becoming such a crucial like talking point.
Hmm.
Like being in certain bars in DC at leather events and being told like, oh, you're hot for a black guy,
Hmm.
or I guess they just don't expect, black men to look. They expect us to look a certain way or to
Hmm.
act a certain way in those spaces. So I've got to say, like, your experience of only playing with black and brown men, it's gotta be liberating. One
And
hundred
that's the
percent.
reason why I joined Onyx
Mhm.
because it's cliche, but representation do matters.
100%.
Yep.
In your experience, what makes BDSM uniquely powerful for black people seeking healing and agency?
It's important because we have experienced so much trauma. In some capacity, we have experienced trauma, and our ancestors has experienced trauma due to slavery and oppression and suppression and things. And so it's important as Black people or people of color who are coming into this community that we have again representation, that we build relationship through trust
Hmm.
and communication, and actually show up honest because a lot of people are engaging into play and they don't talk about, oh, I have this trigger,
Hmm.
or I have this and I have that. They don't talk about any of their experiences that could show up during a kink play scene. So
Hmm.
I think having that support, having open dialogue, and having safe spaces to have those kind of conversations is very important.
So I want to dive into that statement a little bit more. When you talk about communication, I kind of really want to dive into that a little deeply before we go into some of these other areas. Um, Explain communication when it comes to developing relationships in the BDSM world as black people. I notice a lot of black people who have interest in leather. The first thing they look at is like the being dominated by somebody else, and that I know can be very triggering for them. Like, oh, you let that man do A, B, and C to you, and
Hmm.
it's like I don't know if I want to do that. Um, and I think they look at it more from the surface level sexual exchange, but
Hmm.
like this isn't usually happening unless communication is happening. So
Right.
can you touch on like the importance and how to engage in communication to start your journey into the leather community?
I talk to a lot of people, especially with the work that I do in public health, and they ask me a lot of questions surrounding that. And it starts with debunking some of the myths, some of the things that they see on TV and media,
In porn.
and porn.
Yes.
You know, just like you see a video of somebody taking a fist, there's a process that happens before you even get to that point.
Hmm.
Not only for the person who's doing it to that person who's the top, but also that bottom has their own process, and it was probably a journey for them to even get to that point.
Yes.
And so it's not like we go out to the club and let's go to the house and fuck. No, it takes a lot more involvement and more communication that needs to take place when it comes more to kink play, in my opinion. And I say my opinion because some people do pick up play, where they'll go to a bar or leather bar or something like that, and they'll
Hmm.
meet somebody for the first time, and they'll take them home and or wherever and have a kink play experience. I don't do that personally.
Hmm.
I like to build a relationship with the person, like a bond, have communication. Let's sit and talk. Let's get to know each other before we even get to the play. Like I have a whole survey. You have to fill out a whole
Oh,
job
let's
form.
get into it.
I have a job
Yes.
form you have to fill out, and it asks you questions from A to Z about your triggers, your hard limits, your soft limits, everything.
I like that you brought that up because I've one of somebody who I was talking to about engaging into dom sub play, he was telling me about his husband and he has a contract with his sub, and they have a contractual agreement, between the two of them on what they believe the two of them need to do to engage in whatever things that they are doing, and it really dialed into the point for me that like how deep this goes. It's
Yeah.
not just we meet up, we fuck, and you go home. Like there's a lot of community. It's a relationship,
Yeah.
and you guys just explore different avenues of your relationship in a very intentional way. But the communication, and that's my most important thing that I really want you guys to understand in this in relationship to BDSM is. It takes time. This is not one of those kinks. Yes, MAL happens and you can go from floor to floor and just go do whatever the fuck you want. Yes,
Right.
you have that. But to have holistic relationships when it comes to these topics and these subcategories of kinks in play, they require connection and communication.
Connection and communication, which is, like I said, is very important for me if I'm going to play with someone. I had to do contracts as well with my submissives. And again, it talks about everything from A to Z, your hard limits, your soft limits, your safe words, what do you need for before care, during care, after care. Everything that we talk about that's
Ooh,
negotiated is in that contract.
yeah. Um. All right, let's talk about trauma and healing. BDSM is often misunderstood as harmful, but it can be a space of release. How can kink be used to address the release of trauma safely for you?
Safely for me, again, is giving over that power and that control again
Now,
through,
for our culture, that's not easy.
well,
How would you help a black and brown person understand the ability to give up control?
again, it's about being relational. For me, I don't trust easy.
Mm,
And most black and brown people don't trust people. So you have to find that one person or two, you have to vet them. And vetting means get to know them, find out more about them in the community, ask, like we said, ask the mama, ask the daddy, you know, ask around, if they got submissives, ask their submissives. If they're on
you are
social
so
media,
right. The vetting process, a lot of times we build a connection with that person,
yeah,
but I've had a lot of people ask around. Like the community is small.
very small.
And so most people who are in this community, they know somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
Or if they don't know somebody, they know somebody else who might know that person.
Right.
And doing your homework
Doing your homework
very
is
important
very
in
important.
these scenes. And we talked about the ability to trust. A lot of not a lot, but some of these kinks and fetishes require physical restraint.
Hmm.
And you can't fully let go and be in that subspace or headspace if you can't trust somebody. If you sitting here wondering like, man, is this my Jeffrey Dahmer moment?
Right.
Like, is everything about to end for me?
Hmm.
You have to be able to just like let go,
Hmm.
and that takes time and communication.
It takes time.
Um, what are some examples of aftercare practices that specifically help with trauma healing for you?
For me, is aromatherapy.
Mm.
Smells. Deal with your sensory.
What do
Candles.
you so like aroma, so candles is what you okay.
Candles. Incense. Things
Mm.
like that. Could
I'm
be
guessing taking your finger after you slap them around and sniff.
that might send you into that might send you deeper into a headspace if you do that. You need something to bring you out. But yeah,
I think they pushed out. That's why
aromatherapy,
they were there.
um, music. Sometimes can help with that. A blanket, some juice, some candy, a hug. You know.
This is giving daycare.
Well, sometimes depending on the person, what they need. Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever had somebody deny aftercare?
Oh yeah.
And how does do you think that it's important that it should be there, or is it only there if the person needs to have it?
I believe.
I
Every,
think aftercare should be is a non-negotiable for me, especially for me. I think it should be some. I mean, if they don't need it, they don't need it. But I would highly encourage aftercare for BDSM practices?
Well, it depends on how you look at aftercare.
Mm-hmm.
So aftercare could mean that you may not want all the hugs, you may not want no candy, you may not want none of those things. But aftercare is me checking on you the next day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's still aftercare. Me checking in on you throughout the night. That's still a form of aftercare. So aftercare is not always the warm thing. It could simply be just an easy check in.
Um, my next question for you: what does it look like when trauma shows up during a scene? Um, oh, I lost my place. What does it look like when trauma shows up during a scene, and how do you navigate it in a healing and focused way?
Well, one, I stop what I'm doing.
Uh huh.
I make sure I remain in contact with the person physically, just a hand or whatever.
Do you have an experience of when that's happened?
I have experienced that
Can
where
you share?
people like they'll start crying or they get emotional because of the experience. Because I'm a sensual sadist, so that some of the things that I do can become very spiritual.
Mm.
I'm a healer. I'm a very positive person. So sometimes people can feel certain energies through connection.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people get emotional. So me just being there to support them, lay my hands on them, just to let them know that I'm there. I'm checking in with them to see if they need anything. And sometimes the scene may need to stop, you know, or they may need a moment to gather themselves and then continue on. So you really check in on is really based on what that bottom that's on the table or whatever you're doing to as the top,
Yeah.
what their needs are.
Mm. Um, I forgot. I lost my thinking point. I definitely do agree with you though. I personally haven't been triggered doing a session like that, but I've definitely been triggered after a session. Like
Hmm.
once everything is done, and like I'm coming off that cloud. Like I remember I got flogged once, and I finished, and I was like trembling afterwards. And the person was just like, they made sure they were there for me, and like we sat down, and um a lot of times when I feel the desire to be flogged is when like personally I feel like I'm just doing too much. And
Mm.
like it's my way of like disconnecting from everything
Hmm.
to just like okay just stop. And then like I know like my desires for floggings are a little bit intense in those moments. But I remembered like after that session, like I just wouldn't stop trembling. Like I was just like trembling. I was sitting on the ground. And he also flogged me pretty hard.
Hmm.
But you know, I wanted it. I kept saying go harder because I wanted to test my limits. Um, but I do for people who have been triggered. I think that's something that people need to be cognitive of. That
Absolutely.
things can be triggering in these spaces for you, even though a lot of times your interest is very sexual
Hmm.
um, at a start. But you'd be so surprised how something can just get like drudged up from the past.
Yeah, and be
Um,
prepared just in case. Like you may do all this pre-work and pre-negotiation, but sometimes new things come up that the person may not know even existed. So you have
mhm.
to be prepared for that as well.
In Black communities, when vulnerability isn't always encouraged, how does BDSM create a safe container for opening up emotionally and physically?
It just it goes right back again to trust and communication
Hmm.
and bonding with the individual that you're connecting with and that you're playing with.
So I do want to touch more on the Black community that is not very much into kink, right? Because
Hmm.
I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. Um, because it's easy to say like you have to be your ability to trust. Um, I also think it takes a little bit of self work, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's one thing we haven't mentioned. It's you can tell somebody you got to trust me, right? Like
Hmm.
you're jumping out of a tree. It's you got to trust me, or you're gonna if you fall and I'm not here, you're gonna break yourself. But you got to trust that I'll
Well,
catch you.
that's why I said in the beginning, even about
Hmm.
my own personal story, I had to do all the work
So that's what I want to
prior.
hear. How that work.
Yeah, for me, I had to do all the work. I desired to be in this space, in
Hmm.
this community, but I knew I had to do a lot of work. I had to do a lot of healing. And what it looks like for me, I do have a spiritual life. I grew up in the church strongly. I'm not in church now, but I practice also like meditation.
Hmm.
I also been to therapy for a lot of the traumas that I've experienced. And so it's whatever the individual feels they need to address some of those traumas, if the desire to come into the community, you first have to address those things. Because what will happen is if you don't address it, either you're going to get hurt or you're going to hurt someone else.
Mm, very true.
And I see that a lot happening since I've been in the community for
Yeah.
3 years. There's a lot of behaviors that come across due to the lack of dealing with it, dealing with the traumas, dealing with the pain, dealing with the hurt. And I think that we have to work on ourselves first
Yes.
before we engage into any type of kink play that can cause harm, not just to people, but even to yourself.
A lot of there have been studies that show that a lot of our sexual desires stem from our childhoods and things that we experience as we grow up. And I know that for us in this community, as Black people in this community, a lot of us do have interest in this world. Um, but especially from a lens of a very cisgendered, a white cisgendered outpoint, sometimes it doesn't. It looks scary because it's like I don't want to submit to a white person in this way,
Right.
or I don't want a white person doing this to me. Like the first time I got flogged, I didn't have access to Onyx at the time, and I was going into these other spaces where there's mostly white people. So my first experience was with a white person. But the person I built a relationship with, I got to know them. And, I shared my experience with a fellow Black person. And their first response was, "You let a white man do that to you?" First response. And I was like, I understand how this looks, but it wasn't just I wanted this from this person due to his outward appearance. I built a connection with this person. I expressed to this person because that was the only person I could find,
Right.
that was willing to do this in an intentional way with
Right.
me. It wasn't just I met you at the Eagle and you said, "Oh, come home, I'll whip you and you can go home." We spent months
Yeah.
getting to know each other, doing check-ins, understanding our hard left and right limits. And you talk about aftercare, and one of the most important things, like not important, most important, but like when I got there, he's like, music is very central to the soul. Give me a list of songs that you like to hear so that I can play them, so that you're connected while you're in this space.
Right.
So he had he knew what he was doing, very much knew what he was doing, but the journey to really to voyage into this realm of BDSM, it can be triggering. And for Black people, I do implore you to understand where your limits are personally. And we talk about you have to want to heal yourself. I think there's a very important connection that you have to have with yourself before you can go into these spaces.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of these actions and uh like for me growing up, right? I can't speak for every Black person, but there's a lot of young Black men that grow up in single parent homes with their with females, right? With your mothers, so they don't have the best relationships with their fathers. I did not. I'm a like, I'm an example of that. So going into gay spaces, it's harder for me to trust a man. And then it's one thing for you to put your cock in me, right? But then now you want to tie me up, and then now you
Right.
want to do X, Y, and Z to me, and it's like, um, how can I, work with my traumas and my past to understand? Because I see this, and no one's telling you that as a Black man you have to go into these spaces, you don't. But if you have an interest in this, it's very important to understand your past. Identify your own triggers if you think you have any. Like if you have trust issues, that's something that you do have to work on yourself. And the vetting process,
Vetting process.
I think, is very important in BDSM. It's like you don't have to trust everybody. And I think for me, one of the things that was very hard for me going into BDSM was that I felt like because I had limited access to it, I had to accept it. Because I really wanted the experience, and I was willing to accept certain things just to get the experience as long as I wasn't in harm's way. You do
Right.
not have to do that. If your experience takes you 2 to 3 years to achieve something, wait.
Yep.
Make the wait. Build the relationship with the person that is best for you.
It's not a
It
race.
is
It's a
not.
journey.
And I think the only Dom I've ever really had, he's in Atlanta. I had a conversation with him yesterday. And I said, "You fucked me up." he was like, he's like, "What do you mean?" I'm just like, "You have set my bar so high for relationships." Not saying that the person has to, be immaculate, but he taught me the ability to be able to have patience
Hmm.
and to understand that this is not a race. And he taught me the importance of understanding that everybody in this community is not going to be for you.
Right.
And as you enter into these spaces, just because you desire something doesn't mean you should do it.
Right.
And having the ability to understand that, hey, you have something that I need, you have something that I want, right? And you have something that I desire to do, but we don't mesh. And I don't believe that my basis level of connection with you is going to be one that's going to be beneficial to us. Being able to understand and identify that is important.
Hmm.
Gay men lead with sex, right? And it's the sexual desire. Well, he's hot as fuck and he has A, B, and C, and why not? And I believe holistically to engage in these spaces, the connection. I know we keep saying this, but the ability to intimately connect with somebody
Hmm.
is so important. So that way, understanding that those traumatic things are gonna happen. You're
Right.
gonna have triggers, right?
Right.
It's not. We're not. I'm promising you, you're going to have a trigger
Hmm.
in your BDSM journey. You're gonna get hit so hard one day. If you're into certain things, and it might bring back. It definitely did for me. I remember the first day my mom, the first time I got hit by my mom,
Hmm.
right? Like balled up her fist, punched me, and in my very first flogging session, that memory came back to mind,
Hmm.
and I had to like understand that that and this are not the same thing.
Like I have a personal example. Like I don't do dark rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I don't do dark rooms is because I went to a party and this person tried to choke me and force themselves
Mm.
in me, and I didn't want that. But it triggered me because it reminded me when that was happening to me when I was younger.
Yes.
So even till this day, I don't go to dark spaces. You
Mm.
know, so having those experiences is real. And we mentioned growing up in the South and white people, but I've also had negative experiences with my own people,
Mm-hmm.
my own color.
As it goes into my next question, keep going, keep going, keep going.
So 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 trusting anybody across the board requires work for me.
Yes.
It's a process for me. So don't get it twisted just because you black or brown don't mean that we're gonna play.
Yeah.
Like it's not
You
gonna
still have to be
happen.
compatible.
Right.
Compatibility is very important. Um, I basically know the question to this, but as we're getting to the end of our episode, how can community support, chosen family, etc., be a part of someone's healing journey?
Chosen family to me is like saying you have a great support system.
Mm-hmm.
You have people that you can go to and you can talk to and you can share things with. It's important to have people in your life that you can talk about those kinky,
Yeah.
intimate BDSM. I have a great support system. I have two best friends who are poly, non monogamous, and kinky as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I have friends who are not. So it's just important to have I guess, a variety circle of friends that you can go to and have that support and have these kind of
Did
conversations.
you did you watch Pose?
I did.
Okay. Do you remember the scene when Blanca? What's the young boy that used to dance? That danced in the show. What's his name? I forget his
Not good
name.
with
But you
names.
know who I'm talking about. The young boy that
Hmm.
danced. There, I saw it on Instagram today. There was the scene, and it kind of made me a little teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie. She walked into the dance academy, and she's like, "You are going to see him,"
Yeah.
and she was like, "Well, the season's closed. Like, I can't do this." And she's like, "Do you know what some like the biggest thing that can hurt somebody is having a passion inside you and you can't show it to the world."
Mm.
And um, she went to bat for this young man that she found on the piers. And she's like, "I'm going to be your mother and I'm going to be there for you." And when she went outside, she got him to audition and he came outside and he looked at her and he was like, "One more day and I would have went with anybody for a piece of food."
Mm.
And it was very triggering to me a little bit because it was just like, chosen family is so important,
It
I think,
is.
in these areas. And I think it's very important, that as a lot of young gay people, not even young, older gay people, you're neglected by your families. Not everybody has the luxury of being accepted by their blood family for taking the path of their own sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important that understanding that. I had to do this. I had to dissociate myself from my chosen family, my blood family, because they weren't supportive of what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very fortunate, at 21, being a young gay boy that thought that bottoming for a top meant love, and thinking that if I give myself somebody, they'll love me for who I want. That I met two men that were very supportive of me, my journey, and understood that I needed loved,
Mm-hmm.
and they were giving it to me. Like I remember I was telling somebody, like, when I met my husband, when I joined my polyamorous relationship, I was cleaning out I was in the army. I'm in Fort Stewart, which is 2 hours south of Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cleaning out Thursday night, right? And I'm going to work all day Friday because I'm like, when I get to Augusta, they're gonna want ass, and I need to be able to give this to them
Right.
because this is what I'm worth,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or I'm also horny, like I want to have sex, but like I need to be ready, available for them because I felt like that's all I was
Mm-hmm.
at the time. Like I'm only as good as the ass I have to give, and that was a mindset I had. And my chosen family, Ed and Haskell, they were very, very supportive. Like we would go. I would be so pissed because I would get there Friday, and they'd be like, "Let's go eat." And I'm like, "Bitch, I don't clean now. I've been hungry for 24 fucking hours, and you want to go to fucking Mellow Mushroom?"
Oh.
So I'm at Mellow Mushroom eating a salad, motherfucker eating wings and pizza, and then we get home and don't fuck. And I'm so pissed. And it wasn't, until I realized that I was there. They wanted me there for a different reason. And I
Mm-hmm.
was very fortunate to have that. And so as people, I say that to say that as you enter into these areas, finding people who are supportive of your journey, even if they're not engaging with you sexually, is very
Yes.
important.
And I have that as
Yes.
well. Like, in the leather community, you do create a chosen family. I have aunties and uncles and sisters and brothers, and we hold each other accountable. And if we need support, because most of us have our own submissives and own family and houses and things, and so we're there for each other, and that is very important. Even when it comes down to having those experiences,
Hmm.
those kink experiences, when you build a nucleus or a group or a family within the community, you can have those even more stronger safe spaces to be able to practice as well.
And I want to let the people know, like, I understand we're saying build these. For people who are in this area, like, where would you tell them to go to start their journey on looking for these? Like, would you tell them to join a leather organization, or like, where did you go? Like, how did you find your chosen family, or was it by circumstance?
Well, it's by circumstances. It led with Onyx, and then I met Master Eli Rod through Onyx,
Hmm.
and then I came under his mentorship. Then part of his house, which also included other members of the house,
Hmm.
and created a bond there. And then just going to different events and meeting people. Also knowing other people who have houses of themselves and creating family with them. But what I will say for someone who's starting out, I know there's a lot that goes on at the Crucible. There's a lot of like
Yes,
beginner classes that
100%.
happen there. So
And I will
even
link the information in the bio as well. It's $40 for a year membership. They vet you just to make sure you're not some axe murderer. It's really simple. But you're right. They do give a lot of beginning trainer
they
classes for
do.
people. Um, and I tell you guys, like, as you go into these areas, just be open.
Mhm.
Be open. Like, I understand sometimes it's scary seeing somebody with, a braided whip in their hand. But those people are there for the same reason for you there. It's community
Yep.
and connection.
Yep.
It's not just to practice being, um, you know, dominant over somebody. Because what people don't realize in dom and sub submissions, in dom and sub relationships, the sub has the power. The dom can only
Absolutely
do
do.
what the sub is willing to
Yep.
let them do. If you enter into any relationship where the dom is telling you what he gonna do to you, run.
I'm not a daddy without a boy.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Last question for you. What advice would you give someone that's curious in using BDSM as a part of their healing process?
Take it slow. Um, do your research. Um, Find you possibly someone that you can connect with and be mentored by. Or like I said, go to these classes, these beginner classes. At the Crucible if you're from the DMV area. If you're abroad, look in your local area and try to Google for like BDSM 101, Kink 101, classes like that, and start there.
Okay. I want to thank you so much for coming on our episode. So the last little thing I like to do is my whole tip. We like to give people. I like to leave them with something a little lighthearted. Basically, what's your best sexual tip for somebody engaging in sexual intercourse with somebody else? Like, what would you tell somebody?
What would I tell someone?
Like, what's your best hoe tip?
My best hotel.
I'll give you mine. I was thinking about it today, because I was thinking about it, how orally gifted I am. And somebody at the goat event I went to, it's a little tip. They have these mint pills. If you are a cactus sucking person and that throat is dry, they do provide these mints that you can buy at sex stores that will help you salivate more, so that way you can give a better salivated blowjob. They're
Oh,
called mint pills. I will tag them below, just to kind of help you get that guac.
that moisture in your throat.
Yes.
Yeah. So my advice for those tight holes that you may encounter,
Okay. Ooh, I want to hear this.
it's better to eat it before you stick it.
Oh, okay. Just make sure they didn't come ready to paint you before they.
Well, we don't yuck no yum. Some people like
if
a
you
little gravy.
you better let me know before this happens. Okay, not yucking your yum, but you gonna let me know. Okay, 100%. Eat it before you stick it.
Yeah, eat it before you
How
stick
good
it.
are you at eating ass?
Oh, I can eat. I love eating ass. I can eat it for hours. Yeah.
I remember I did this thing with my husband once. I couldn't eat his ass. But I picked him up, right? And because at the time my apartment had really high ceilings, I picked him up by his legs and I like shoulder pressed him up against the walls. And I sucked his dick. But I was just like, I wonder if I could do it and eat his ass. But he kind of heavy now. I don't know if I could do that. Well, I'll try it one day.
Yeah, because
But stick it before you
lick it
before
before you
you
stick
stick
it.
it.
Because like when you start eating the whole out, you kind of open it up a little bit and a little bit, and it's getting wet and wet, and they get to relax, and you know.
And then he's gonna look at you and say, "Push out," and then he's gonna stick it. Tell people where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Alnabil Onyx, ALNABILONYX.
Awesome. And I'm your host, Mr. Dominus. Thank you for watching another episode of Frequency. And we post every Monday. We will see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.